Hello everyone, I am Kajal Jha, lecturer in Pravin Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. Unit 3, that is Basics of Microprocessor and 8051 Microcontroller of the subject Digital Electronics and Microcontroller Applications. Subject code is 22421. In a previous video, we will done with the architectures of the 8051, that is von Neumann architecture and the Harvard architecture. Okay, that is nothing but the architectures of the processor. So in and we will done with the 8051 introduction and features of the 8051. Now we will go for the 8051 pin diagram. Okay, so let's start. This is nothing but the 8051 pin diagram. 8051 pin diagram consists of 40 pins in it. If we see there the numbering, it is start from 1 to 20 one side, and again for another on another side, that is from 21 to 40. Okay, so the pin description is we will see in the pin description one by one. There is a four ports used in it. That is, if we see here, that is port 1. If you see here, that is nothing but the port 1, port 1.0, 1.1, that is from pin number 1 to pin number 8. There is 8 pins are used. Then again, if you see from pin number 10, then P 3.0 to P 3.7 up to pin number 70, port 3 is present. Then from pin number 21, that is port P 2.0 to 2.7 up to pin number 28, port 2 is present. And if you see from 39 to pin number 39 to pin number 32, the port 0 is present, that is from P 0.0, 0.1, like that. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. So first is port 0, that is port 0 starts from P 0.1, that is from AD port 0.1 to port 0.7. That is nothing but from AD0, that is address and data line. Okay, at AD is nothing but A stands for address and D stands for data. So data AD0 to AD7. Okay, so port 0 is an 8-bit port. If you see, there is a 8 pins are used, so there is a 8-bit ports. Can be used as inputs. Okay, can be used as inputs, outputs, or as a bidirectional low order address and data bus for external memory. It must be connected externally with a pull-up registers as the port is open drain. To use a port 0 as an input, the port must be programmed by writing 1 to all the bits and with the pull-up register connected. So port 0 is also used as AD0 to AD7, allowing it to be used for both, that is address and data. When connecting an 8051 to an external memory, port 0 provides both address and data. The 8051 uses multiplex address and data through port 0 to save pins. Okay, so if we see the port 0 consists of 8 pins from 80, that is P 0.0 to 0.7. Okay, port 0.0 to 0.7, and there is a presenting data and address line, that is AD0 to AD7. Okay, these ports we will use for address and data also, because here AD0 to AD7 lines indicates that it allowing these pins for address and data both. Okay, next is port 1. It is from port 1.0 to port 1 P1.7. It is total 8 bits or 8 pins are used. So port 1 can be used as a 8 bit input or output port. Does not need any pull up registers since it already has pull-up registers internally. Port 1 is configured as an input port upon reset. Suppose port 1 has been configured as an output port and to make it an input port again, then port 1 must write 1 to all its bits. Okay, means if we have to use a port 1 as an input port, okay, but now we will configure for the output, but if we have to make it input again, then the port 1 must write a 1 to all its bits. Okay, so we can use that port as an input port. Then next is port 2. Port 2 can be used as a 8-bit input or output port. We can use as a we can use it as a input or we can use it as a output. Does not need any pull-up registers since it already has a pull-up registers internally. So port 2 is configured as an input port upon reset. Okay, means what, if we use the port 2 as an output port to making an input port again, so we have to make means we have to reset it, means what, we have to write 1 to all the bits, then we can use that port as an input port. In order to use the port as an input, the port must be programmed by writing the 1 to all the bits, whichever we discuss. So port 2 is also used as a higher order address bus, that is A0 to higher address bus, that is A8 to A15, indicating its dual function. So here we use as an this port we can use as a address bus only. We do not perform the data. We do not this port allowing, not allowing this for data. Okay, only for allow, it allow for address. Okay, it only allow for address means what, we can use it for a address, not for a data. Okay, then in order to the next 8051 is capable of accessing 64K bytes of external memory. It needs a bus for the 16 bits of the address. P0 gives the lower 8 bits via A0 to A7 and the P2 gives the upper bits via A8 to AA15 of the 16-bit address and cannot be used as a for a input output. If we see, the port 0 will gives the address from 0 to 7 and the port 2 gives the address from 8 to 15. So total 16 address are present. Okay, so via port 0 we can access the address from 0 to 7 and from a port 2 we can access the address from 8 to 15. Okay, next is port 3. Port 3 is starts from port 3.0 and it ends at port 3.7. So total is 8 bits. Port 3 can be used as a input or output port. Likewise, all the ports are nothing but the input and output port. We can use all the 4 ports as an input and output port, like one port 0, port 1 and port 2 and port 3. We use all these ports as an input output port. Okay, so P3 does not require any pull-up registers connected to it. So port 3 is configured as an input port upon reset. Similar, if we make it if we make the all the bits are 1, then we can use it as a input port and again we can reset, again we reset it, then we use it as a output port. Okay, port 3 has the alternate functions such as, okay, port 3, if we see in the pin diagram, then port 3 pin description is very different. That is, port 3.0 is present for it present RxD, where RxD is nothing but the serial input pin, that is nothing but the receive pin. Okay, see, it is RxD and TxD, that is port 3.0 and 3.1 we use for the serial communication. Here RxD means serial receive pin and TxD means serial transmit pin. Okay, from port 3.1 pin we can transmit any signal and at 3.0 we can receive that signal. Okay, so it is for a serial communication. Then port 3.0, okay, that is P3.0 pin is used as a INT0 and port 3.3 is used as a INT1 bar. INT0 and INT1, these are the interrupts. Okay, so external interrupt 0 input pin, and INT1 is external interrupt 1 input pin. Then port 3.4 and P3.5 is used as a timer, that is timer 0 and timer 1, because we know the microcontroller consists of two timers. So that what are the two timers? That is timer 0 and timer 1. So T0 and T1 indicates the timer 0 external input pin and timer 1 external input pin simultaneously. Okay, then port 3.6, that is P3.6 and P3.7 as nothing but the write and read signal. WR for write signal and RD for read signal. Means by using these signals or these pins, we can write any data on a memory, okay, and input output on a input output port, and or we can read a data from the memory or input output port. Okay, this is nothing but the port 3 pin. The next, reset input, that is nothing but reset pin is an active high input pin used to reset the 8051. Means which whatever the memory is 8051 memory is stored after reset pin. Okay, after when we activate the reset pin or enable the reset pin, all the data are vanishes or all the data are resets there. Where the high pulse must be high at least two machine cycles, it is called as power on reset. Okay, after applying a high pulse to reset pin, the microcontroller will reset, okay, and contents in the registers will lost and reset values of the some 8051 registers. Okay, means what, after resetting that pin means after when we gives the 1 or when we write the 1 to the reset pin, means reset pin is enabled. So after reset pin is enabled, the microcontroller will reset totally. That means if the memory contains some information, then that information will be lost, or if the registers contain some operation results or some information, then it is also lost. Okay, after reset pin, when we enable or when we active when we enable the reset pin. Okay, this is the function of reset pin. Means what, it resets the all the activities or all the results and information of the 8051 microcontroller. Then ALE and PROG, that is PROG, EPROM only. This is ALE is nothing but what, this is nothing but the active, this is nothing but ALE probe is nothing but the here ALE pin is used for active high output pin and used to demultiplexing the address and data bus, that is port 0, which provides both the address and data. The ALE pin is used for demultiplexing the address and data by connecting to 74LS373 latch. Okay, ALE is nothing but the address latch enable. Okay, so address latch enable and PROG means program. So it is EPROM only. Same pin is also the program pulse input, that is prog during the EPROM programming. Then next is PSEN, that is program store enable. This is the PSEN stands for program store enable, and this is an output pin and is connected to the OE pin, that is okay, this is connected to OE pin of the ROM. When the 8051 is fetching code from the internal program memory, PSEN is high, that is deactivated. Okay, then when the device is fetching the code from the external program memory, PSEN becomes low twice in each machine cycle, except that two PSEN activations are skipped during each access to external data memory. Okay, this is nothing but the function of PSEN. Okay, so PSEN, after that PSEN we will go for EA, that is EA bar and VPP. External access enable, EA bar is nothing but external access enable. EA means EA must be connected to VSS, okay, and that is nothing but the ground pin which is present in pin diagram of the 8051. If EA is connected to VSS, then which enable the 8051 to fetch the code from the external program memory from locations starting from the 000H up to 0FFFFH. EA should be connected to VCC while fetching code from internal program memory. Means what? If you connect the EA pin to ground, then we can execute the codes from the external memory only. Okay, and if we connect the EA pin to the VCC, then we can fetching the codes from the internal memory only. Okay, we cannot fetch the codes from the external memory. Then VPP means it is, this pin is also receives the 12.75 volt, which is called as programming supply voltage. Okay, this is programming supply voltage VPP while programming the PROM. Okay, so this is the EA pin. Then Extal1 and Extal2. So Extal1 and Extal2 are two pins, that is Extal1 is nothing but this is an input to the inverting oscillator amplifier and input to the internal clock generating the circuits. If we see the diagram, then using the on-chip oscillator, there are two capacitors are present, C1 and C2, and in between them one box is present, that is nothing but it is called as crystal oscillator, and Extal1 and Extal2 are the crystal frequencies, means two inputs for the crystal oscillators. Okay, so external is nothing but the input to the inverting oscillator amplifier. Okay, then Extal2 is an output line for the internal inverting oscillator amplifier. Okay, so input for the inverting oscillator amplifier, and this is nothing but the output line for the internal inverting oscillator amplifier. Oscillator characteristics: Extal1 and Extal2 pins are input and output pins respectively, means Extal1 we will use for the input and Extal2 we will use for the output. Okay, which can be used as an on-chip oscillator. Then Extal1 should be driven from the an external clock only, and while Extal2 is left unconnected, means we can't connect or we don't connect the Extal2, it left open or if left unconnected. But the Extal1 and Extal2, because Extal1 gives we use Extal1 as an input and we use the Extal2 as an output, so we connect the Extal1 for driven the external clock source, but we don't connect Extal2 it, we make it unconnected. Okay, so this is nothing but the Venn diagram of the 8051 microcontroller. Okay, in our next video we will done with the in our next video we will see the architecture of 8051, which is the last topic of that subject of that topic. Okay, thank you.